Sis, I know we've all had those times where we were crunched for time and we needed to get out the house. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys a 10-minute makeup look that will quickly get you from this to this in 10 minutes or even less. So if you're interested, just continue to watch. Alright sis, so the first thing that you need to make sure that you do is make sure that your skin is cleansed. If you absolutely cannot cleanse your face for some reason, I would recommend going in with some micellar water and just a cotton pad to clean off your face before going in with your moisturizer. So that brings us to our first product, is a moisturizer. Since we are doing a 10-minute makeup look, we want to make sure that we're using products that are multi-benefit. I feel like multi-benefit products will get us through our makeup look a lot faster. So for today's video, I'm going to be using the Merit Beauty Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. I've already used this in probably like 3 of my videos so far, but I really like the fact that this is priming as well as moisturizing. So I'm getting my moisturizer and my primer out of the way with this one product. And I like to focus this product all over my face. It's just going to help prime and set my entire face. This product is good for anybody, to be honest. It's moisturizing, it's priming, it's doing everything in one. So if you're a dry skin, oily skin combination, you'll definitely like this product regardless of what skin type you are. So you could really see what that product just did. It really just hydrated my skin. My skin looks brighter, it looks more glowy, youthful. I love that it just does what it says that it does. Moisturizes and primes and really sets the skin up for the makeup that we're going to be applying. All right, so now this step is optional. I'm going to go in with another primer and I only want to focus this primer in my T-zone. Like I said, optional, so this could save you a good probably 50 seconds in terms of your 10-minute makeup look. But I personally want to add a bit of reassurance this area here and my nose, because I know for myself, my skin tends to get really oily. So I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Prime Lab 24-hour matte setter primer. So this one has LHA and salicylic acid and just gives an overall rebalanced look to your skin and just no shine, no oil. So I want to make sure that I am taking the necessary precautions for my skin type and going in with this in the areas that I tend to get oily. So I'm literally just applying it on the sides here, and I don't need to put too much. So I'm going in with this primer as an extra reassurance. All right, so while these products really sit and settle into the skin, I'm going to move on to my brows. Brows are really personal, so whatever you have to do for your brows, I would suggest doing. But if you are someone who has brow hairs like myself and don't really need to do much, I've already cleaned up my brows like a few days ago and just got rid of the stubbles. So cleaning it up really cuts down the time as well. So if I would recommend anything, is to clean up your brows and just make sure that it's groomed before anything. But if you are someone who has brow hairs like myself, I'd recommend a brow gel. So today I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. Brow Lift Gel. And I'm just going in with a dual-ended brush. So this has the spoolie on one side and then the angled brush on one side. We're not using the angled side. All we need is the spoolie. So that's already one tool that we need for this 10-minute makeup look. So I'm just going to dip into this. And what I like to do is just apply a good amount to the brows and really shape them up in place and tame them. And then I just brush in an upward motion to really flatten the brows. I think that's what the goal is, to flatten it out so that it's like set. And then after flattening out, I just go in with my brush to shape it. And that's literally all I do for my brows. I'm just gonna go in with a cotton with some micellar water and just clean up the brow gel that's on the skin. You always want to do that because when you go in with maybe your foundation or some concealer, you're going to be going over that excess residue and it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good. So I always recommend cleaning up the brow gel residue that's on the skin. All right, so we're gonna let that dry down. Now we can move back to the complexion. So when I think of 10-minute makeup look, I'm thinking of what I can do quickly to just get my complexion looking really nice, like one even skin tone, and just really focusing on the complexion. I feel like everything else is just little intricate parts that you don't really need to focus on. So for your base makeup, I would recommend going in with, of course, a preferable foundation of your choice or a tinted moisturizer. Tinted moisturizers are good for those days where you just want a really light beat, something that's light coverage that you won't have to really do much work in terms of blending out and whatnot. But if you are someone who wants to go in with foundation, you can definitely do that and get it done quickly as well. So for blending out your foundation, I'd recommend using a beauty sponge. Using a beauty sponge would allow your foundation to blend out a lot faster faster than using a brush, in my opinion. So today I'm going to be using the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. I love this foundation. I'm in the shade 24N. And what you want to do is start with one pump on the back of your hands, and then you want to just start in sections on your face, just applying it in dots. All right, and then you want to go in with your damp beauty sponge, and I can't stress this enough, you have to make sure that it's damp. You need to make sure that you are soaking this and wringing out the excess water. This is what's going to make the blending process a lot easier. And what you want to do is just use the butt end and blend out your foundation. Using the beauty sponge will also give you a really lightweight look because the sponge is soaking up quite a bit of that product. So like I said, using this really makes the blending process a lot faster, especially in a 10-minute makeup look. And I've used a total of like 1.5 pumps, probably one pump for one side and another pump for the other side. I was asked how many pumps do I usually use for my foundation. So I usually use about 2.5 pumps. All right, so we have our foundation on. So that took less than a minute to blend out. Okay, so this is where it gets a little tricky. This is where it's up to you. Are you a blush girl? If you are a blush girl, I would recommend going in with your blush first. So I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Coming In Hot. And I would recommend going in with your blush first before your concealer. This way you don't have to worry about blending out your blush. Your concealer will do all the work in cleaning up the blush mess that you did on your face. So I'm going to be using this, and I like to go in with this on the back of my hand. So I just put a little bit on the back of my hand like that. And I'm going to go in with my tapered blush brush. This is what I use for all my liquid blushes. I love it because it's tapered. It's going to keep the blush in the area that I need it to be. It's not going to bring it all over. What you want to do is dip into that product and warm it up on the back of the hand. And if you do go in with a lot, you can always like take off the excess, and then you just want to apply it in the area that you want to add blush. This is definitely coming in hot. So all you're doing is dabbing that on your cheekbones and really just warming up the skin, bringing back some life to the skin, because foundation tends to just make your skin look really dull and lifeless. You could also use your beauty sponge to blend this out as well. So I'd recommend applying it to the back of your hand, and if you need to, go in with 1 or 2 dots and then blend it out with your beauty sponge. All right, so now that we have the blush on, we can now move on to our concealer. So for concealer, I would recommend going in with a concealer that is 2 to 3 shades lighter. This is just going to brighten up your under eye and bring back the natural highlights to your skin. Now the trick with concealer for a 10-minute makeup look is you want to use a little bit of product. You don't need to do the whole highlight and contour routine. You can definitely skip doing all of that and focus on your under eye only, or you can use a little bit in all of the areas just to add a little bit of highlight back to your skin. So today I'm going to be going in with the Black Radiance True Complexion Concealer. This is in the shade light to medium. All right, so with concealer, you want to focus underneath your eyes first. So like I said, we're not going in with too much product today. Less is more for this 10-minute makeup look. So I'm going to focus this in my inner corner. This is going to conceal our dark under eyes and really brighten up the look. So I would suggest going in with your damp beauty sponge, and what you want to do is start with blending out the edges. You will always have to do this, sis. So if you're not used to blending out the edges, get used to it, because this is what really helps your concealer to blend out. So you're going to blend out the edges and then really blend it into the blush that you've applied, and then you could work on blending the inner corner. So it really just brightened up the under eye. Now, if you need to, you can go in with one more layer for the extra coverage, which is what I'm going to be doing today. And for this 10-minute makeup look, you do not need to worry about contouring your nose. This is just a quick look to get out of the house. So again, you want to blend out the edges and then work in the inner corner. So you see how adding that concealer really blended out the blush. The blush doesn't look too harsh. This is what you want to aim for. So I'm gonna add a bit of this concealer to all the areas that I usually highlight. And like I said, a little goes a long way. You don't need to apply a lot for a 10-minute makeup look. Once you apply a lot, you're going to be spending a lot of time blending, which is what you want to avoid. Okay, so now with the butt end, we're going to go over everything and just make sure that everything blends together and looks seamless. So I'm going to go over the areas that we applied that blush with the butt end, and I'm only focusing it on the bottom part where the foundation is and the blush, just so that we have a nice blend. And then for the areas that we use the concealer, we're going to go back in with the tip and just make sure the edges are blended. All right, so this is what the complexion is looking like so far. I'm gonna go in with my flat concealer brush and shape up my brows and conceal my eyelids. And I don't know if you guys are noticing, I'm applying a little bit of concealer. Same rule applies for just cleaning up. All right, sis, so just like that, we got all of the cream products out of the way. Now it's time for some powder. So for your setting powder, I recommend going in with a translucent setting powder. This is gonna be used to pretty much set your entire face. So I'm gonna be using the CoverGirl Clean Invisible Translucent Deep Setting Powder. And if you're anywhere near my skin type, translucent deep is something that I would recommend because translucent deep powders really work well with flashback if you are going to be taking pictures as well. So I'm going to go in with my triangular powder puff. I always mention this in my videos. You can get this from Amazon for like less than $10. And what you want to do is put it on your sponge and then just take off the excess on wherever you have space on your hand at this point. So you want to make sure everything is blended out before you go in with setting. I'm also gonna set underneath my brows and then my eyelids as well. You just wanna apply this powder everywhere that you applied your concealer. Now with the same powder and your powder puff, you wanna go back in with that powder, just take off the excess, and then you wanna go over all the rest of your face. So everywhere that you've applied your foundation. This is pretty much going to set your entire face. All right, sis, so you already know that all cream products has to be set with a powder. So we did apply some liquid blush to the face, which you can see is slowly disappearing. So going back in with a powdered blush is what's going to keep the longevity of your blush. So today I'm going to be using the Rimmel Maxi Blush. This is in the shade Wildcard. You can definitely reuse your tools. So I'm going to dip into this powder, dust off the excess, then we're just going to tap this in the area that we applied that blush just to really enhance and bring back the life. And if you guys haven't noticed by now, I am considered a blush girl. I love a nice feminine blush. I'm gonna go back in with my powder puff and just go over that blush. This is just going to mute it down a bit so that it doesn't look too harsh. All right, sis, so you could honestly go out like this. There's nothing wrong with this look. If you wanted to skip the bronzer and the contour, you can definitely do that and cut down your 10 minutes to like 8 minutes. But if you're someone who wants to just add a bit of bronzer to your skin, you can definitely do that. So today I'm gonna do that just for the sake of this video. I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Infallible bronzer. This is in the shade 500 Dark. And I'm just gonna go in with a tapered fluffy brush. This is just going to apply that bronzer pretty much in the contours of my face. I like with bronzer, you don't really have to worry about precisely blending it out in certain areas. You can literally just brush it on the areas that need that extra bronzing. All right, so we're pretty much done with the base. Now it's time for what we want to do in terms of the little intricate parts of our makeup look. Do you want to do something to your eyes or do you want to leave your eyes? What do you want to do to complete your makeup look? So what I would recommend is going in with a mascara. If you're someone who doesn't use lashes, going in with a mascara on your top and bottom lashes can really bring the look together. If you are someone who wears lashes like myself, you can definitely pop on some lashes. I personally can pop on lashes in less than a minute, so I could include this in my 10-minute makeup look, but if you can't, that's cool. You can go in with some mascara at this point. I'm gonna actually pop on my lashes really quickly, and the lashes that I've been using in the last few videos is the same lashes I'm gonna use today. These are the Ardell Wispy lashes. These are my go-to lashes. It honestly fits my eyes like perfectly. I feel like it complements my eye shape and all of that, so this is literally my go-to lashes. So if you're ever wondering what lashes I'm wearing, 9 times out of 10 it is the Ardell Wispies. All right, sis, so I popped on my lashes. I'm gonna go in with a bit of mascara to just fill in the top and bottom portions of my lashes. Today I'm gonna be using the Essence Lash Like a Boss Instant Volume and Length Mascara, and this is just going to really finish up the eye look and make it look like you did a little something. So I'm just gonna apply this to my top and bottom lashes. All right, so just like that, the eyes look complete. Now it's all about your preference. So it's the lips. Do you want to go in with a lip oil, lip gloss, lipstick? It is up to you. Today I'm going to be using a lip oil. This is the Essence Hydra Kiss Lip Oil. This is in the shade Honey Honey. And I just like something that's quick and easy to put on, something that I don't have to worry about lining my lips or anything. That can take an extra minute or two in your 10-minute makeup look. So using something like a lip gloss or a lip oil is definitely something that will cut your makeup process down quite a bit. So I'm going to be using this just to add something to my lips today. And I love this because it has a tint of orange. It really looks like I added a lip gloss actually, but this is a hydrating lip oil that's going to also treat my lips as well. All right, sis, so last but not least is a good setting spray. So I'm going to be using the Indeed Nano Set Blurring Setting Spray. This is going to make sure that my makeup lasts throughout the day. Everything looks blurred and really nice and smooth. I love this actually. This is actually a really good setting spray. So if you're on the hunt for an affordable setting spray, the Indeed Labs Nano Set setting spray is a really good one. All right, so that completes today's 10-minute makeup look. I hope I was really detailed and showed you guys some really good tips on how to get through your makeup look in 10 minutes. We used about 10 to 12 products. Like I said, some of the things that I used were optional, so you definitely don't need to do everything that I did in today's look. Do what works for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you are a new sis to my channel and haven't subscribed, sis, what are you waiting for? Make sure you are subscribed. And if you haven't checked it out already, I do have a video on my channel all about blending. Sis, if you're someone who wants to learn the ins and outs and the tips and tricks about blending out your makeup, then you need to watch this video right here. I go in depth with all the tools and the best makeup products to use to blend out your makeup. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave it on the screen right here for you to check out. But yeah, that is about it for today's video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.